back to my channel. I'm really hoping that this lighting is not extremely dark. Granted, I am wearing black, but anyhow. So today, the video, as you can see, is titled Time's Up. And that's just in reference to the movement that has been started by way of the Weinstein effect, as well as the hashtag #METOO campaign that we saw nearing the end of 2017. And so today I wanted to show my support and solidarity of women in the workplace, whether that be in media, as we've been seeing a lot of, or in other jobs, including but not exclusive to agricultural work, in boardrooms, in housekeeping and other health maintenance jobs, jobs that may not have the same type of pull or the same social media attention that jobs in and on TV and in film and things of that nature would have. So today, as you can see, I am wearing all black in support of that, and I just wanted to do two things. One is share a little bit about why I feel like it's important for me to stand in solidarity with women who have been sexually abused or harassed in some way, shape, or form inside of their workplace, and also to share my own story and provide, again, a safe space for women and even men who have felt like they have. What I wanted to do was create a safe space for women to be able to speak out, to speak up, and to have their stories shared in an environment where we can all support one another through the use of this movement. So first things first, I think it's so beautiful and wonderful to see so many women participating in this movement and coming together collectively to support a cause and something that's important. And although we know that sexual harassment can happen to men and women, right now we're speaking for women, and this movement is about women and empowering women and making sure that there is an avenue that women can feel like it's okay to speak about their story openly and know that consequences as well as accountability will be taken into consideration and will be imparted on those people who decide that, you know, it's okay to treat women as less than. And so it's just beautiful to see so many actresses at the award ceremony last night. I didn't watch the ceremony, but I did see a lot of women come out wearing just gorgeous gowns and things of that nature, all in black. And as I did read a quote from Lisa Ray, who's one of my favorite actresses, I love her with my whole heart. She had mentioned that, you know, this is really the death of one period of time in which women were not taken seriously, men were not taken accountable for their actions, and stories would just kind of get swept under the rug as they pertain to sexual harassment and rape allegations and things of that nature. And it's a time of a new era where women are being made to feel safer in the spaces that they're in, whether that be work or otherwise. And for me, I can really relate to that. So again, it was just beautiful to see so many women of so many different colors, so many different backgrounds come together to support such a beautiful cause. And so what I'm going to do is, in the description box below, I'm going to link the website. It's called timesupnow.com, and it has just a beautiful passage that's written, was written January 1st, and I would encourage any and everyone to read it because it really touches on some important points about the movement of Time's Up, what it's pertaining to, and also gives you a means of being able to donate and sign up with your signature to show that you are supporting this movement. And I think that it's really important for both men and women to do that. So on to my story and my personal experience with sexual harassment. I work out a couple of times a week, And a couple of months ago, one of the maintenance guys in my building would stop and watch me through the glass door. And I'm a very non-confrontational person, so I sort of just let it go by. And I know that I shouldn't have, but again, I'm non-confrontational, so I just kind of swept it under the rug as nothing, even though I was made to feel very uncomfortable in those moments. At the beginning of December, I went down to the gym and I was on the treadmill. And the way that the gym is situated is there's two doors, one that is visible by way of standing on the treadmill and one that is not, especially if your back is facing that door. So I'm on the treadmill and I turn around to do another exercise, and I notice that someone has shifted off of the door. And it made me feel really uncomfortable, so I quickly got off the treadmill, ran over to the door, and realized that someone was rounding the corner of the building, of the foyer. And so I felt uncomfortable in that moment. I didn't know what to do, so I just finished up my workout and decided I was gonna finally go and say something. So I had already been made to feel uncomfortable by way of the maintenance guy, and at this point I didn't know who it was who was watching me from the door. So I said, you know what, I'm gonna go and report this. So I did. I went to the leasing office and I spoke to the leasing representative and I explained what had happened. She had then proceeded to ask me whether or not something like this had happened before, and unfortunately my first thought was, I don't want this person who has harassed me before, who works here and has a job and probably has a family and things that he has to take care of, to lose his job. My first inclination was not, let me protect myself, let me make sure that I'm feeling okay and comfortable and safe in my own living environment. My first inclination was, is this guy going to be okay? Is he going to lose his job if I say anything? And it really made me sick and sad to know that that was my first frame of thought. So when she asked me, had this happened before, I said no. Although I didn't see who the person was that was watching me today, I definitely knew that this was an incident that had happened prior to that most recent incident. So she said that she would need more information. At that time, I wasn't willing or able to provide her with anything more than I already had, so I left it alone. Later on that evening, I was going out and I had seen a gentleman standing outside of my building, and he was in the exact same clothes. Lo and behold, it was the same maintenance guy, and I had put two and two together that it was him who was watching me in the gym. And the location in which he would have had to come and stand by the door and watch me was completely out of the way. So he made a conscious effort to come to the door and watch me while I was working out, knowing that it wasn't right, because he quickly moved off when he saw that I was seeing someone watching me. I then proceeded to make a quick snap. If you follow me on Snapchat, you'll kind of know what I'm talking about. But I just kind of used that outlet to vent some of my frustration with the situation, and how frustrated not only with the guy that I was, the maintenance guy who was supposed to be there to do a job, but also frustrated with myself. I also recognized in that moment why a lot of times we see women who don't come out and say something about sexual harassment, rape allegations, assault of any kind for several years. And I was able to connect to those women in that moment, and I'm so grateful to God that my situation wasn't worse, but I recognize that there are women who unfortunately are sexually harassed, are made to feel uncomfortable in their place of work, are touched inappropriately, are spoken to inappropriately. And oftentimes they don't say anything and don't speak up because of fear that there won't be repercussions for whomever it was that made these sexual advances, and also because there's a sense of shame. Why didn't I put myself in a better situation? Why was I wearing this certain thing, drawing certain attention to myself? And so I really wanted to make this video to open up this conversation. I want to know in the comments below, do you guys feel like if you are sexually assaulted or harassed in some way, you find out who the person is, or it's linked to you being in a certain area, do you then feel like you're responsible for making sure that you don't put yourself in those situations anymore? Or is it the responsibility of the people around you to keep others accountable? And is it the responsibility of other men to keep other men, their friends, their family, people that they don't know, accountable for their actions, and encourage them to know that, you know, if you're making someone, a woman, feel victimized or uncomfortable, you need to not do that. And, you know, you have to be responsible for your actions and know that what you're doing is wrong. So that was kind of a conversation that I had with my mom, and she was kind of under the impression that, you know, if you're being harassed, you shouldn't put yourself in the situation to be harassed. But at the same time, I don't want my fear of this man coming up to me or saying something to me if I do further my report to hinder me from going to the gym. I don't feel like that's any way to live, and I don't want to live in fear. So I just wanted to open up that discussion. I wanted to hear your guys' input. I want your feedback as to whether or not anything similar has happened to you, anything more detrimental has happened to you. Feel free to email me. I'll link my email in the description box below, and I'll probably put a link somewhere on the screen. So email me your stories, your experiences, and I may not have all of the answers, but I do want to be able to be an outlet for you, because oftentimes I recognize that it's hard for women to come out and say something. And if I can just be a listening ear, someone that can comfort you, someone that can maybe give advice, someone that can encourage you to speak out about things that have happened to you, then that's one more thing that I can do to help dismantle the system of lack of accountability and oppression that women face in everyday life, and having to go out and think about, what am I wearing, where am I going, what am I doing, am I going to place myself in a situation where I'm becoming a victim to men who are not aware and cognizant of the fact that I don't want the attention that they're trying to give me, that I'm not okay with them touching me inappropriately, speaking to me inappropriately, or looking down at me simply because of my sex or my gender. I'm so grateful that you guys took the opportunity to listen into this video. I hope to see you guys in the next one. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Tell your friends. And I really hope that this very serious topic can spark some positive discussion, and that we can move forward in 2018 in such a way that women are more revered, that they're more respected, and that we can love one another and create safe spaces and equity amongst all genders. See you guys in the next video.